What a cloudy, overcast, drizzly kind of day. Morning, everybody. Right now we're waiting on this weather to burn off so we can go chop. So then the first project for me and Harley, we gotta go get a pivot unstuck. So I got a couple of mud lugs, a hammer. Let's go see what happens. So looking down, the whole set of tires looks to me like Tower 7 is out ahead, which tells me Tower 6 is falling behind. So then you come over to your panel. I'm going to tell it to change direction. Wow, that screen's going to hell. I'm going to tell it to change direction, and I got to hold the safety override to get it to kind of back up, get in line. Then we'll go check it out. Pretty sure I found the problem. That's going to go for a ways. And that tower's doing it. And that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. 6 of the 7 towers look like this. Awesome. So that thing just fits around the tire. Then you hammer this guy on as far as you can. And it'll use the force from the ground to hold it in place and just lift it right through. As long as none of the others get stuck in the process. So, I mean, it's really that simple of a concept. All it is a leverage point to kind of hoist it up. As you can see by the track, though, it's going to happen for a while. Because we'll go back here and look. See the trailing tires pushing a hell of a wad. And there's what the track looks like. The biggest problem is you got to run the pivot really slow to give it time to do its thing. And where I've got 6 towers potentially having issues, this might take a little while. Outside tower is slowly fighting its way through. I don't know if I need to throw one on or not. It moves and it stops. Funny part is, looking at this field, you'd swear we planted feed into it. But I don't think we did. I think that's just all grain shatter from chopping it last year growing. But I don't know. I'm gonna let that do its thing for a little while. I slowed it way down because I had to put a mud lug on the outer tower, and you do that, it makes it really easy for that outer tower to get ahead. New hay is looking good. We smoked the first crop of pigweeds. This is the second crop coming in them. Mature enough now, though, probably just leave it. A few little patches to replant. But I'm gonna go check on Maddie. She's swathing a half a mile from here. Go see what that's looking like. That looks good. So the ground is a little sticky. So I'm nervous. I think it'll work. If we just had a little bit of sun, this would go no problem. But the problem is I also really don't want a whole lot of sun because they're talking severe thunderstorms. So the cooler we stay, the less fuel for it to get nasty. At least in my head that makes sense. So alright, go check on the pivot again. Got trucks and loaders running like crazy this morning. Cameron and I bailed basically all day yesterday, the 4th of July. And this farm alone had over 200 bales. We got 2 semis going, a loader here, a loader over at the feedlot where they're unloading them. We're marching right through it. It's after 11 o'clock now though, so I'm going to run over and double check on the pivot and then round up some lunch because I told trucks start at noon, so got a little under an hour. Well, it's definitely not unstuck yet. It's actually gotten worse out here. God dang, that track is gnarly. Okay. I'm just going to leave those on, let this thing slowly keep crawling. It's only moving at 20%, which means 20% out of a minute is how the more it's running. To get from right here, just a couple hundred yards till it'll be straight south. It says it's like 8 hours, so I'm just gonna let this run all afternoon. Maddie's moving right along swathing. Grant has got the merger up and going. Yeah, those look good. Triples, all right. We'll fly through that field. Hopefully we'll fly through it. Time to go get a chopper ready. Trucks are gonna be here any minute. Well, that didn't take long. 12:58, already out of trucks. That's number 5. So the custom guys are here, just none of our guys yet. Our guys, like I showed you, they were busy moving bales. Cameron and Blanca were busy working on Blanca's truck. The grill rubbed a hole in the air conditioning condenser, which rubbed a hole in the air-to-air. So they were trying to get all that stuff straightened out. So figure probably the next 20 minutes our trucks will start showing up. Finally, 3 o'clock, 60 acres done. Now we are going back to a pivot we had to abandon one day in the rain. See if we can't get it cleaned up. Poor Cameron and his gimp finger. You can tell the tread's starting to get dry because we're this close behind the swather, and this is saying 71, which that's always been reading high from what we've seen. Like 5 points high is usually what it's reading. So crops are starting to naturally mature. Oats are getting to be hit and miss. I think, unless I'm mistaken, I think this is the last field of trip, because this farmer has another field of oats and we don't even know if we're chopping them for sure. Just got off phone with Tuna. The plan for tomorrow is oats. Yeah, I think this is the last field of trip. The oats are hit and miss on how dry they are. The first one we're planning on going to is drying down on its own. You can tell looking, he had already cut an edge. You can tell just looking at them, that dry color on the bottom of them. Ours, I know, are going to be green. They're going to have to lay for a day. And then that's when you start getting into sketchiness, because there's a lot of rain chances. So it's going to be hit and miss on how it all goes. And as you can see by the clouds right now, we got another chance moving in tonight. They say about 7, 8 o'clock it could get a little gnarly around here, so hopefully we'll miss that. I don't know if I said it earlier. Last night we barely got a sprinkle here. Whoa. There, step. Farmer buddy 2 miles south of here, they got rained out. And then about 20 miles east of here, the farmers that I talked to, they all got between like 1.5 inches and 2 inches. So these thunderstorms, man, when they blow up, they are dumping out a ton of water and causing a lot of damage in the process, because it's 2 inches in 30 minutes. That's not exactly helpful. Glenn and Obi are on the mop-up crew. They'll get what's left. That's it for this field. That's it for the day. And since it's not raining yet, kind of hoping that keeps pushing east. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? It's not raining yet. Sun's out. I'm actually gonna go blow this machine off because I think it's been 4 days of cutting now and it's barely had any air compressor, so it's getting kind of nasty. So Grant, the new guy, was asking some questions of me and the big chief this morning on kind of how we decide where we're going, when we're going, stuff like that. You know, stuff a curious person wants to know about how the custom circus runs. And Chief had some great numbers that I wanted to share before I forget them. On day one, there was 1,800 acres signed up. And I believe day one was Memorial Day, or the Sunday before Memorial Day was when we were finally able to get in the field. About 10, 12 days later than normal, but everything's behind this spring because it was cool and wet. So 1,800 acres. As of right now, we've chopped 3,500. And we have a couple hundred to go, so it'll be about 4,000 total. So the acreage has more than doubled since we actually began. So that's why, if you ever notice, sometimes we're cutting like really green stuff in one video, you know, I'm complaining about waiting and this and that. Then all of a sudden in the next video, you're going, well, that looks really dry. Well, that's why, because not everything is signed up before harvest. So you kind of start figuring out your week, talking to the farmers saying, hey, okay, we're going to be to you on Monday, we're going to be to you on Tuesday, we'll be to you on Wednesday. You get everything lined up, and then all of a sudden these new acres come in. Well, you already got a schedule for the next 3-4 days, because all these farmers, they got to know ahead of time so they can be prepared and ready. And you go, well, crap, those acres that just came in are dry. Okay, instead of being to you on Wednesday, we're going to go to this guy on Wednesday, we'll be to you on Friday. Well, then that farmer might get pissed off, going, why am I getting bumped down? So it's a lot of jockeying around, a lot of changing your mind multiple times a day. We all love to give the chief hell about it because we always say he changes his mind 10 times before breakfast. But when it comes to this custom stuff and having to bounce from field to field, finding dry fields, you have to be willing to say to yourself, I was wrong, now I'm going to correct it and do the right thing. And a lot of people can't do that. That's where I give him credit. He's willing to say, hey, this was a bad idea, we're going to change it up. He has a lot of times, though, where he won't do that, and he should. But it is what it is. Go blow this thing out. And I'm actually kind of pissed off at the moment because with about 2 loads to go, I hit a skunk. It stinks so bad in here right now. Oh. The meeting of the minds is over with. Figuring out a plan for tomorrow. Check it out, we got a new workhorse in the stable. I'll introduce you to her later. Right now, we need to go check some hay. Potentially, we got about 60 acres of hay we could bale tomorrow. That feels soggy. Ah, freaking hate it. I hate it. I hate baling rained on hay because you're never right on when to rake. It's a question of, is that stem moisture or is that rainwater stuck in there? You can tell how nasty that is. The problem with this field is, right over the hood of the pickup there is a culvert. So that entire farm across the road drains to that culvert. And then it flows right through this field. It used to flow down a ditch, and then we put up a pivot. So now there's no more ditch. I don't know what to do. I guess right now we gotta see what Mother Nature does, because my phone still says from about 10 o'clock tonight till 4 o'clock tonight it could really suck. So I'm gonna go home. Talk to you guys later.